자, 이렇게 해서 제5회 선화평화상 시상식 1부 순서를 함께 하셨고요. 이제 제5회 설립자 특별 공로상 시상식을 여러분과 함께 하도록 하겠습니다. 설립자 특별 공로상은 사회에 이어서 설립자의 평화 이념에 적극 동참하고 있는 정상에게 드리는 상입니다. 자, 그럼부터 제5회 선화평화상 설립자 특별 공로상 시상식을 여러분의 큰 박수로 시작하겠습니다. 자, 오늘 설립자 특별 공로상의 주인공은 훈센 캄보디아 왕국 총리입니다. 자, 그럼 훈센 총리의 업적을 영상으로 만나보시겠습니다.
War and destruction. 2 million people lost their lives in a country of painful history. An ordinary young man from Cambodia started the painful journey against this cruel regime. He considers it his duty to save lives, promising to restore the peace swallowed up by war. His long journey ended with the complete peace of his homeland, Cambodia. After ending the war and building peace, he had one goal. He, who has fought for freedom, hopes to melt the firearm in his homeland, create a symbol of peace, and lead a people-centered development. Prime Minister Hun Sen has shared the world the method to peace that Cambodia has achieved. In Southeast Asia, where forces collide, power is balanced through experience and age. For the sustainable development of Southeast Asia, he is working with the leadership of solidarity and cooperation. In particular, he is working to build a peaceful ASEAN community by reducing the development gap between countries along the Mekong River. Reverend Dr. Sun Moon and Dr. Hak Han even risked their lives to go to North Korea for the will of peace and unification on the Korean Peninsula. Prime Minister Hun Sen sympathizes with that spirit and offers new hope. We are taking the lead on the path to lasting peace on the Korean Peninsula, where the threat of war disappears, the conflict between the peoples is reconciled, and the South and the North truly become one.
훈센 총리의 업적을 영상으로 만나보겠습니다. 그럼 이제 설립자 특별 공로상의 주인공 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 훈센 캄보디아 왕국 총리를 큰 박수로 맞아주십시오. 훈센 총리는 선주평화연합을 포함해 다양한 국제 평화 포럼과 평화 이니셔티브에 적극적으로 참여함으로써 평화를 위한 국제 협력을 촉진해왔으며 특히 동남아시아의 지속 가능한 발전을 위해 탁월한 리더십을 발휘해왔습니다. 오늘 설립자 특별 공로상의 주인공 훈센 캄보디아 왕국 총리가 입장하고 있습니다. 여러분 뜨거운 박수로 환영해 주십시오. 어서 나오십시오. 환영합니다. 이제 선학평화상의 선임자이신 한학자 총재께서 입장하시겠습니다.
네.
여러분 뜨거운 박수로 환영해 주십시오.
네, 지금 촬영하고 있어요.
선학평화상의 선임자이신 한학자 총재께서 입장하고 계십니다. 시상을 통해 선임자께서 입장하셨습니다. 어서 오십시오. 여러분 선임자이신 한학자 총재와 혼센 캄보디아 방송 총재를 다시 한번 큰 박수로 맞아주십시오. 이제 메달과 상패를 시상하겠습니다. 먼저 한학자 총재께서 메달을 전달하시겠습니다. 큰 박수로 축하해 주십시오.
저는 안 갖고 왔어요.
영예로운 메달이 전달됐습니다. 이어서 상패를 전달하시겠습니다. 특별상의 상패가 전달되겠습니다.
네.
여러분 다시 한번 큰 박수로 이 자리를 축하해 주십시오. 선입자 특별 공모상의 제주께 메달에 이어서 영예로운 상패를 전달해드리겠습니다.
저기
잠시 후 자리를 축하하는
많아가지고
기념 촬영을 진행하겠습니다.
땅이 그냥
정면을
저
봐주십시오.
그것도 반 드려야 되겠네요.
공모상의 주인공을 축하하고 시상하는 시간을 함께 하셨습니다. 다시 한번 축하드립니다. 이렇게 해서 기념 촬영까지 함께 하셨습니다. 이제 수상 연설의 시간입니다. 선입자 한학자 총재와 훈센 총리께서는 무대 중앙을 통해 이동해 주십시오. 훈센 총리께서는 한학자 총재가 새로운 한반도 평화 프로세스로 위하는 신통일한국 평화체제에 발맞춰 한반도 평화 서밋의 공동 의장을 맡아 노력해 오셨습니다. 선악 평화상의 선임자이신 한학자 총재께서는 두 분이신 고 문성명 총재와 함께 세계를 무대로 세계 평화를 이루기 위해 헌신적인 삶을 살아오셨습니다. 한학자 총재께서는 부모가 자녀에게 조건 없는 사랑을 주던 전 인류가 서로 사랑하는 세계를 건설하기 위해 세계 곳곳을 돌면서 평화를 실천하고 계십니다. 여러분, 지금부터 훈센 캄보디아 왕국 총리의 수상 연설을 총해 듣겠습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Excellencies, members of the Sunha Peace Prize Committee, Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm profoundly moved and touched to have been selected as the laureate of the 2022 Sunha Peace Prize. I'm so honored and would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the Sunha Peace Prize Committee for recognizing my work in ending the long civil war and building long-lasting peace in Cambodia. On this auspicious occasion as well, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Professors them Sarah Catherine Cheever, co-developers of AstraZeneca vaccine, to be also selected as the laureate of the 2022 Sunha Peace Prize. Your work has greatly contributed to the fight against COVID-19 pandemic and saved millions of lives around the world. For me, this 2022 Sunha Peace Prize is not something that I did alone. Many other people also deserve to share this prize for their support of my efforts to build peace in Cambodia. First, I would like to express my deep gratitude to late King Father Rodam Sihanuk, the Queen Mothers, Baramaniat Nurodam, and some like Baramaniat Sehamadi, the King of Cambodia today, for their royal role in enhancing the role in promoting the spirit of national unity among all Cambodians as a big family. Second, I must thank my family for their love and support throughout my adventures searching for peace for my country. Third, the other leaders and members of the Cambodian government and the armed forces from all factions have played a crucial role in our collective endeavor to build and promote peace. Fourth, friendly countries and the international communities aided Cambodia's peace process and post-conflict national reconstruction. Last, I must thank my countrymen, my compatriots, for their enthusiastic support of the government's win-win policy that has created a conducive environment for a robust peace ecosystem in Cambodia. For me, peace is more precious than anything. It is the most beautiful thing. It gives people hope and puts a smile on people's face. People who have not experienced hardship and suffering created by wars may take peace for granted. Those who have lived through periods of violence, conflict, or war know how precious peace is. Taking these opportunities, I wish to share my own experience of growing up and living through decades of the civil war in Cambodia. I was forced to quit my study in 1970 when my countries became divided, and when I was just 18, when the countries was divided and the war was looming. My childhood and teenage life, which should have gained great joy had the country had been peaceful, face only hardship and suffering. I was in great despair about my futures and the futures of my countries. For that moment, I devote my life for the quest for peace for Cambodia. It took almost 3 decades to realize my dream. And I had to endure hardship and take life risks along the way. I got wounded and lost one eye. I had to escape on foot to Vietnam through my field and the heavily militarized border at night while leaving my pregnant wife behind in Cambodia. She was then 5 months pregnant in 1986. And when I met the reunited my family reunion, my son called me uncle. In the world, how many people face such a suffering life like me? In 1996, at the time, the UNTA under the UN operation cannot achieve peace. I had to risk my life again by negotiating with the Khmer Rouge at their stronghold to persuade them to put down their arms and join the government under the win-win policies that guarantees their life, rights to properties, ownership, rank, and profession. This policy allowed Cambodia to achieve full peace in late 1998. It has enabled the government to focus its full attention on national development. And the Cambodian people enjoy the benefit and opportunities that peace and development offer. Cambodia has maintained peace for more than 20 years now, and we are committed to protecting and promoting peace. From Cambodia's experience with war and peace, I wish to emphasize it that no peace, no hope. No peace, no peace, no development. No peace, no respect for human rights and democracy. And I share the same belief as Reverend Sun Myung Moon and Dr. Hak Jahan Moon that peace is concrete action, not a weak dream. This is why my government has made it a priority to send thousands of Cambodian soldiers to join UN peacekeeping operation and mine clearance operation in Africa and the Middle East. That now they are present in Somalia, Central Africa, in Sudan, and Lebanon, hoping to help restore peace in those regions. Moreover, although our country is small, we assist the peace process in the region and the world with goodwill, responsibilities, and honesty. Excellencies, Madam, ladies, and gentlemen, peace in our region and the world remains fragile and under stress due to compounding factors, including great power rivalries, rising nationalism, terrorism, as well as poverty and food insecurity due to climate change and the COVID-19 pandemic. They have the potential to damage human progress at best and wipe out the whole human race at worst if left unaddressed. Therefore, we need to increase and diversify our collaboration and partnership to minimize the impact of those threats while enhancing a robust peace ecosystem. Promoting peace is essential for our present. But more importantly, as the Sunhat Peace Prize slogan succinctly expressed here, make the world better for future generations. Thank you for your kind attention.
네, 말씀 잘 들었습니다. 여러분 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 서리타 특별 공로상의 주인공이신 훈센 캄보디아 왕국 종리의 수상 연설을 여러분과 함께 했습니다. 천주평화연합을 포함해 다양한 국제평화 포럼과 평화 이니셔티브에 적극적으로 참여함으로써 평화를 위한 국제협력을 촉진해 오셨습니다. 다시 한번 축하드리고 감사드립니다. 자, 이 시상을 축하하기 위해 특별한 분의 축사가 준비되어 있습니다. 제50대 미국 하원 의장을 역임하시고 현재 선악평화상의 위원이신 유트 빅리치 위원 부부의 축사, 여러분의 큰 박수로 청해 보겠습니다.
Thank you very much for that warm welcome. I'm not sure which is harder, to follow these fine speeches or to follow that very emotional music. But I can tell you that this is a remarkable day and a remarkable ceremony. I want to start by thanking the person whose genius and passion and dedication has made all of this possible, and that is Dr. Hakcha Moon. Thank you for your leadership and for your courage. I also want to thank my good friend Michael Jenkins and the Washington Times team, who do an amazing job of communicating to Americans the important things that we need to learn. And I'm grateful to be here for the Sunhawk Prize and to be on the Sunhawk Prize committee. You know, the moment we're in is very challenging. In some ways, it's remarkable. You just heard, for example, that the entire effort on worldwide vaccinations has dramatically reduced the death rate for children. You've heard about a genius who has spent her life, named Sarah Gilbert, who has created the opportunity from a lifetime of work to respond to the crisis of COVID-19. You've heard from a dedicated patriot, Prime Minister Hun Sen, who's committed to dialogue and who brought his country from a terrible civil war. And yet, here we stand at a turning point for the human race. There are other diseases that are terrible. The number of children who die annually from malaria, for example. In my own country, a country which should have extraordinary opportunity, we lose about 46,000 people a year to drug overdoses and another 46,000 to suicide because we have lives of despair. And that's why it's very important to come back to one of the key messages, that we are a family of children of God, and that God fills up a space which, when it's empty, leads all too often to tragedy. You know, it's very important to understand why we need to reach out and encourage young people. Think about the career of Dr. Gilbert, who had this instinct that someday we'd have a threat big enough that spending her lifetime learning to be ready was a reasonable commitment. So it wasn't 1 week or 1 month or 1 year, it's her whole life. And if we can recruit, as she said in her fine speech, if we can recruit enough young people to realize what a difference they can make, whether it's in music or in medicine or going into space or inventing a new product, whatever it is, that they should seek lives that give them joy, that challenge them, and that give them a better future. The Vaccine Alliance is amazing. It's something the United States has participated in with very substantial resources. And it's amazing because it brings together people who have resources to help people who don't. And when you realize the number of people, 800 million children vaccinated, 50% reduction in the death rate, is an astonishing thing. I find when I come here, and I've been privileged to be here several times now, that I'm always inspired. I always go back to America thinking new thoughts. I'm frankly always impressed with Korea and the extraordinary job of recovery and building and prosperity that has occurred here. And I think if you take today's presentations and today's speeches, all of us can learn lessons to create a better future, to recognize that we are one human family under God, that peace, prosperity, safety, and freedom are possible. And there I would say that the Prime Minister's speech was particularly powerful, particularly moving, because I know what he had to go through as a young man and how he persevered when it seemed hopeless. The Sunhawk Peace Prize is a building block of that future of peace, prosperity, safety, and freedom. And so I'd like to close where I began, by reminding all of us that it's the vision the commitment, the 365-day-a-year work of one person, Dr. Ha-Cha Moon, who has driven forward and created an opportunity to bring the human race together. Thank you very, very much.
선자 특별 공모상 시상을 수상한 스카이마스 뉴트 이미지 위원으로부터 청해 들었습니다. 고맙습니다.